Yeah, because it was a mess. I was barefoot, so
I think, and you told me that you were the one that spilled it. Well, hi guys. I was like, please like, share, and subscribe to our stuff. It would really help us out.
There's a little notification bell if you guys are interested in our content. We are trying to post every day for this 30-day challenge.
We're I think on day 7.
Day 8.
Day 8.
Day 8.
I think this video is gonna come out in like day 10 though. I'm not quite sure yet.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, please like, subscribe. There's plenty more where this is coming from. If you guys have any ideas to make our content any better, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
You guys have a good day.
YouTube. What?
Enjoy the video. We've got a particularly special story for you today. It is of how we first met.
Yes.
Which was 3 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah. And unlike most people nowadays, we did not meet online.
No, we did not.
So I find that kind of special.
Aw. Okay, so how did we meet? So weird. How do we start this story?
Well, let's tell a little bit about the people we were.
Okay.
Before we met, you want to start?
So I worked all night. I worked 16 hours, and then I would come home and I would take care of my kids, and that was my life.
That was really shallow. Not a lot going on there.
No, but I made time to hang out, but I wasn't really going. I didn't like to go out.
No. I was the complete opposite. I'd gotten out of a relationship almost a year prior, and I was just living the single life, living it up. I was partying every weekend. I was hosting parties and events, and just trying to get out there and mingle as much as possible. I would hold parties all the time at my house, and it's funny because she had never come to a single one of my parties. Nope. Saying that she's not this party person, but we meet at her house party.
No, it wasn't my house party. It was his house party, but it was my house.
The only reason we had it there was because your best friend said she had a spot.
Which my best friend was like, hey, can we throw a party at your house? Like, it's gonna be like, she didn't say it was gonna be a lot of people because it was like, how many people? And she's like, just a few. And I was like, fine. I was like, I don't mind. I was like, just keep it down because I just want to go to sleep. I think I had worked that night, and then that was my night off. So like, I didn't want to spend it partying. I wanted to sleep.
Yeah, you kind of made that apparent. We talked for like maybe 5 minutes.
And then I disappeared. And he disappeared. You disappeared too.
I disappeared. I had to go get more beer.
So I was like, okay, I went over there and I did mingle for like 30 minutes.
She came and sat next to me. I was surprised because if anyone knew me back then, I had this crazy top hat. I had this long hair. I was barefoot all the time. I was definitely just like...
Yeah, he was like the weirdest thing at the party. And I was like, whoa, look at this weirdo. I was like, I'm gonna go talk to him. And I was like, and I was talking to him, and then you were like, I was like, who spilled something in my floor? And then you were like, oh, let me go clean it up for you.
Yeah, because it was a mess. I was barefoot, so... I
think, and you told me that you were the one that spilled it.
I didn't spill it, but I tracked through it. I stepped in it, and you could see my footprints on your floor. I was like, well, no one else around here is in bare feet, so I'm gonna take the responsibility for this, and I'm gonna clean this up.
Yeah, I was like, who put, like, I was like, great. I was like, there's water all over my floor. And like, he was like, oh, here, let me clean it up for you.
Yeah.
And is that when you found out that I was the one that owned the house?
Yeah, that's when I kind of found out. But me being the closed-minded sexist that I was, I didn't think a single woman could own her own house.
Well, I didn't own it. I rented it.
Well, still, I didn't think that was the case. I thought you had like a guy there or something. Especially when you disappeared for the night, I was like, oh, she probably went to bed with her husband or something. She's probably got work in the morning, wanted her to come lay down.
Yeah, no. And like, I remember I was like, oh, that's really nice. I was like, you know, I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell my friend to like introduce me to him. And I went to my room and I fell asleep and I woke up at 2 a.m. and I went to the thing. I was like, oh, I'm up. I was like, I'm ready to party. And I left my room and it was dead. Like my house was empty. Everything was put back in place. My house was like spotless. I was like, aw, everybody went home already.
Yeah.
Why did the party end so early?
Because the owner of the house is gone. Yeah, we ended up staying outside and hanging out on the middle of the street. And then that was like 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You barely just missed us because we were all hanging out in the middle of the street, just drinking, having a good time. And neighbors across the street, we saw them in the window calling the cops. And we're like, oh, we gotta go. Everybody back to my place.
Oh, is that where you guys went?
Yeah, we all went back to my house.
Well, I should have called Selena and been like, hey, where you guys? Oh, I couldn't. Where you guys all go? Where did everybody go?
Back to my place.
Come back.
So I get this text message from her friend the next day saying that my friend really likes you.
Yeah, I was like, I texted my friend came over the next day, and she's like, I was like, hey, introduce me to that guy with the hat. And she was like, that guy? I was like, yeah. I was like, he seemed pretty nice. I was like, he cleaned my floor for me. I was like, he seemed pretty like serious. I was like, I like that. Little did I know he was like humping because I had a cookie jar. He was like humping my cookie jar.
I wasn't humping it. I put my hand in it, and then I made some derogatory remark, and I was getting the cookies out of the cookie jar.
Which there was a lot of cookies in there.
There's a lot of cookies in that cookie jar.
Put your dirty hands in my cookie jar.
Oh man.
But yeah, I found that out later on. But so.
Did I tell you about that?
Yeah, you told me about it.
I told you about the cookie.
You were like, oh, the cookie jar. I was like, what about the cookie jar?
I'm trying to get them cookies.
I was like, oh my god. So then I told her, I was like, hey, I was like, introduce me to that guy. And she's like, no. She's like, no, you don't want to like. And I was like, why? I was like, he seems pretty chill. I was like, is there something that you're not telling me that I should know? Like, because she's looking out for me or something. And she's like, no. I was like, he just doesn't seem like your type. And I was like, well, I mean, let me talk to him and I'll decide if he's my type or not. So then she's like, okay, fine. And she did. She told you. Did she tell you like right away?
Yeah, she told me immediately. She left. My friend likes you. The girl from last night, the owner of the house, she likes you. Here's her number.
Okay.
I was like, aight.
Yeah, and then I was like, he didn't like, you didn't Facebook me or text message me for like a while, for like a day or two.
Yeah, for a couple of days.
Why?
That's what you're supposed to do, right? You don't want to come off desperate.
That only works if you're not the one. But you already knew that like I wanted to talk to you.
Also, at this time, like I said, I was trying to stay single. I made like kind of a pact with myself to stay single for a year, like not get involved with anyone for a year. But I ended up hitting you up, and it seemed like we got off.
It's so funny because like later on I found like he had like screenshot pictures of me and sent it to his friend and asked about me.
That's what I was
Jonathan.
doing. I was
because you're like
snooping.
You were snooping and you told Jonathan.
You had a picture of you and Jonathan up on your
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook, so I was like, oh, homeboy knows her. Like,
and like we were really close. It kind of looked like we were a thing, but we were never a thing. We were always just friends.
Kind of did look like a thing. I was like, oh, the homeboy dater. Like, I don't want no homie hopper.
Well, that's kind of childish.
Oh.
But yeah, no, me and Jonathan we were just friends. I think he was trying to get with my sister.
A lot of your friends, from what I hear.
But yeah, so then that happened, and then he texted me, and then we went on our first date. And that's gonna be for next time. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was like, oh man, but where are we on the runtime right now? So yeah, our first date. It was kind of rushed.
I had to go to work.
Yeah, someone had to go to work. But it was still a really nice evening.
We took our steak to go, and we tried eating it at the movie theater. It is so hard to eat a steak at a movie theater.
A full course meal, steak, potatoes, vegetables.
Because I was like, you have to get me home by 9 so I could get ready and go to work. And
it was crunch time, but we made it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I ended up eating your steak and you ended up eating my steak. And then like for the past couple of days, it just was the thing. Like he would eat my things.
Couple of days, couple of years. Like that still happens today. Like we end up with each other's food.
And we're like, what the? This isn't what I ordered.
Well, what you ordered is delicious.
I think that said it. And then that movie was pretty nice. Like we sat down and we laughed through the whole movie. It was a scary movie.
It was a horror movie. It was The Nun.
So we laughed through
We
the
just
whole
laughed through, yeah.
movie. And I think we were late. I think we were halfway
Yeah,
into the
we
movie.
were halfway into the movie because we had to catch the earlier showing, and dinner was
it was
pushed back.
bad, but it was good. It was we had a good time.
It was a good bad date.
Yeah.
It was a really good bad date.
And then like after that, I think we were just like every day we'd hang out. Every day.
Yeah. I would get off for lunch at work, and the first thing I do is drive straight to her house, and she'd hang out with me at lunch.
We would go eat at this little Jenny's place that we love.
So good. Like $3 breakfast, guys.
It was so
If
delicious.
you're ever in Barstow, California, hit up Jenny's. That place is amazing Mexican food, and she should know about Mexican food.
No, you know what? When I first met him, I was like 110 pounds. I was so skinny, and now I'm like 100 and not gonna say it.
100 in question mark. Well, the same thing here. I'm not ashamed of my numbers, but when we met, I was like 170. I'm over 200 now. I think I look good for over 200, but
so yeah, we kind of gained a little weight, which maybe we should. Yeah.
It's happiness weight. We're fat because we're happy.
So yeah, so that's our story. It was pretty good and really nice. And now I'm engaged. We had a baby. It's pretty nice.
Well, thank you guys for listening to our story. Hope you enjoyed it. Probably not as much as we've enjoyed our story, but we'll see you next time, and have a good one.
Goodbye.